Hello and welcome along. This is another episode of Super 6. And as always, it's a pleasure to have your company. Thanks for downloading us and turning us on. My name's Laura Woods and alongside me as ever, Bayo Akinfenwa. Hello.
Yo, I see what you did there with the double entendre, but anyway, you know what I'm saying. Yo, what's going on, OW? You good?
I'm good. It's nice to be back, have a little chat and get our feelings out in the open. I have to say congratulations to you, Mr. Bayo Akinfenwa, because you reached the big number 200th appearance for Wycombe. Congratulations.
Thank you. You know, the funny thing is I didn't even know. It was after the game, my Matt Sessu, who runs our media department, said congratulations. I was thinking, well, you congratulate me because unfortunately we lost on the weekend against Nottingham Forest. And he said, listen, you made 200 games. I was like, oh, wow. And then he was like, listen, like signing at the age of 34 to make 200 games from there, listen, it's like no mean feat. And I looked at it and I joked with the gaffer and I said, listen, you earn every penny. And the reason why my body's feeling what it is because you didn't take it up. But no, listen, it's a proud achievement. And of course, when I hang on my boots, I'll look back at it and say, listen, I did all right. But unfortunately, at the moment, I guess it's personally, it's nice, but collectively as a team where we are at the moment, it's just hard to take it all in, if you know what I mean.
A bit of a bittersweet moment.
Yeah, just, at the moment it is. I mean, I remember talking to, when Connor Cody came on and, Wolves were going through that period and he said, listen, it's not nice losing. And look, of course, there was no expectations put on us. There was no pressure put on us as Wycombe at the moment, but nobody likes to lose and, we're professionals and we go into every game wanting to get results. But just unfortunately, it's hard to break this momentum. And, we got some young boys and I'm trying to use all my experience, both on and off the pitch, sorry. But listen, it's tough, but Wycombe's been built on fighters, and trust me, we will keep going and keep fighting to the bitter end.
Tell me something. Your boss, Gareth, did he get you a card, a cake, anything to say happy 200?
I ain't going to lie, I would like to say yeah, but nah, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, he didn't get me nothing. He gave me a hug, though. I'm not going to lie. Like, you know what I'm saying? He gave me a hug.
Was it a long one that you're like... Oh.
Nah, just because of this COVID thing, innit? So he was like, listen, like, we normally meant to keep the distance, but let me give you a hug, innit? So I took that, you know what I'm saying? I took the hug.
Well, you're in each other's bubbles, aren't you? So it's a little bit different.
Listen, you know what I'm saying? We cool like that. We're around each other constantly every day. So, but as I said, he gave me a hug and I take the hug.
And did anyone do anything on social media? Surely Wycombe were like, wow, come on, number 200.
Oh, yeah. Listen, to be fair, I got shown love by the Wycombe fans. And, it's and especially at the time, where we're not, there's nothing to really celebrate at the moment because they're not winning. They came out and they showed love. I think Wycombe put up congratulations and it kind of coincided with Matt Bloomfield's 36th birthday. So they kind of put us up together. The old dogs at Wycombe and, they put up a poll and that. So, listen, it was nice. It's flown and I spoke. I think come May, it'll be 5 years and it'll be the longest I've ever been at one club. And especially at the age I'm at, it's rare that at the age of 34, like the last bit of your career, you play that many games and you stay at a club for that long. So, yeah, it's nice. I take it in for myself. It's nice. Anybody that knows me knows I try and look at the cup half full rather than half empty. I mean, it's nice. So, yeah, listen, 200 games, geez, like... My body does feel like it's played 200 games right now. But, and yeah, again, we had a game last night. I think it's 201. And unfortunately, again, we can't break this momentum. And it was another loss on the board. It was, would say, a 6-pointer. So, at the moment, it's tough times at Wycombe. I won't lie to anybody. It's tough times at Wycombe. But again, you got to keep going.
I want to try and put a smile on your face because I've been noticing something. So the last few weeks, the interviews that we've done have been players that have played with you, against you at some point in their career along the way. And I probably notice this more because I'm listening to them as they talk about you. But I've just been listening for the stories and everybody seems to remember a time they played against you. And you obviously don't. You're like, oh, remind me what that was again. But I just thought, like, what a career where everyone remembers the game against you and something that you've done and memory they've had with you. And it was the first time really, because I think it sounds a little bit corny, doesn't it? But I think I take for granted sometimes that you and I just sit here and do this podcast and it's fun and we get to like chat and things like that. And sometimes I take for granted that you are a footballer and that you have had this amazing career and gone through all these things and other footballers remember you specifically. And I just think that's quite big in itself.
Do you know, it was funny because when Cooper said his story, and it's like, for me, you know what it makes me realise, and I do try and fight it, but I kid you not, I think yesterday was when I kind of come to terms with my age. I kept on saying it to people, innit? I go on like I'm Superman at times. I'm like, nah, man, like, come on, beast mode, like, you know what I'm saying? I do. And I think yesterday, that we played a Sheffield Wednesday. I'm a Liverpool supporter, so it was iconic, you know, and there was no fans, so I guess you take it in for the stadium, you know. It's old, big stands, big pitch. So, you know, for us, you know, it was a 6-pointer. So, you know, we walked into the stadium. It was snowing. And like, it's an iconic stadium. And then, of course, the whistle goes and we're out there trying to get 3 points. Unfortunately, we lose the game 2-0. And I come off after an hour and it's snowing and I sit down and I'm looking at the team and, you know, I'm trying to gear the boys on. Like, come on, like, this, that and the other. And I think it was when I kind of realised, I was like, yo, I've had a long career, you know, and it's that when you kind of just, the age bomb drops on you where you're like, rah, all these players, and it was Cooper's one when I was like, rah, Cooper's just hitting 28, I think he said he was, 27, 28. And, you know, he was talking when he played against me at Colchester, was it? Anyway, Chesterfield, when he played against me. And I'm just like, all these players, even Connor Cody, and I can only remember him at Wolves, and that's how long like I've played this game. So it don't get twisted. It's a little chuckle to myself where I'm like, rah, but I'm the old boy in the room. Do you know what I'm saying? But you know what? Listen, I'm still out there. I'm still trying to rapple, scrapple and fight with the man them out there. I'm still out there. But nah, man, it is what it is.
I think take it as a huge compliment and the legacy that you've built, I think is going to be, I mean, it sounds like you're retiring tomorrow and you're not. It just made me think about it. I just thought it was really nice. Do you think, before we go and meet our guest this week, because I love this guy and he will talk for England, so you and I can sit back on this one, I reckon, and just every now and then pipe up. But do you think that when you eventually do hang up your boots, and no doubt you'll be onto something pretty quickly, the next venture, something that you've got lined up, whether it be in the world of wrestling or more telly, whatever, do you think that you would just have a period of time where you're just like, right, let me just lay horizontal and sleep for a few weeks?
Oh, hell yeah. Listen, especially, let me tell you something, and I've said this a few times, and I'm not retiring tomorrow, don't get the game twisted, like, we've still got unfinished business with Wickham, so I'm not retiring tomorrow, but I do say, and I've been using the R word, retirement, because of the weather. Like, I kid you not, when I hang up these boots for 2 weeks, I am going to lay in the sun and do nothing. I tell you that. And I'm just gonna take it in. I'm gonna look back, I'm gonna chuckle, I'm gonna smile. But for them 2 weeks, I'm going to do nothing. Telling you.
Do you know what? Like, I feel like I need to do that. And I haven't even been working as long as you have. But I feel like as soon as there's a break, when there's an international break, I think there's a break in like a few weeks' time.
Yeah, March.
I think I might just lay on that floor to my left horizontally and just sleep for a little while, because I don't even play football, but it's just relentless at the moment, isn't it?
It's on.
It's just like 5 games a night.
No, it's on. And I was going to say, I was like, what have you been up to though? Because I was thinking, maybe I haven't been watching TV as much and that, but what have you been up to?
To be honest, I've been doing, obviously, TalkSport Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday mornings. Yeah. I was at Wolves actually at the weekend, and I tell you what, honestly, I got there at Molineux, and I was like, for the first time in a long time, I sat there and I was like, I might cry. Genuinely, I might cry, because I was so cold. I'd done everything. I got heated socks. I was wearing these trousers that keep the heat in as well. They're leather, and everyone was like, oh, why? You must be so cold. I'm like, no, actually, they work the opposite way. They keep the heat in. And then I had this massive jacket on. Everything was covered. And then I put these gloves on, and the ends of my fingers must have been exposed to elements for like, I don't know, 5 minutes, because I had to like use my hands to write and stuff like that. Yeah. And they got so cold in the ends of my fingers. I was like, this is how frostbite starts. And you know, at Molineux as well, it's got the open edges. And so like the wind just whips through. And it was snowing as well. And my God, I was just like, I can't do this. I can't do it. It was awful. I wanted to cry. And then I pulled myself together. I did my bits. And then I just went, sat in the stands, wrapped up even warmer. And it was actually, I was about to say it was a good game. It was 0-0 draw, really. And it was quite disappointing because I wanted something to happen. And nothing happened. Jamie Vardy nearly scored at the end off the bench. It was against Leicester. And you know, when you're driving home and you're just like, wow, I'm reassessing things.
Did you interview your guy? Because you know what I'm saying? Was that the height? Did you get to?
Oh, God.
Did you? Nuno? Did you get to interview your guy, Nuno?
Yeah, twice. But the worst thing happened, Bayo. Listen, I love that you've just reminded me of this. So basically, I started the interview, carried on, and I'd done my research, and I know what he thinks of Leicester. And I said, Jamie Vardy was on the bench at that point. And I said, look, Jamie's not starting, but he's on the bench. And you know, Leicester are more than just a team of Jamie Vardy, essentially. And he said something along the lines of, you said it yourself there, Lauren. And I was like, oh, he called me Lauren. And my heart just went into
Did he drag it out? Did he go, Lauren?
It was like it echoed in the back of my head, Lauren. And all of my memories of interviewing and previously flashed back in front of my eyes, and just sort of like went through, you know, this process of our relationship together. And at the end, I realised that it's so one-sided. He doesn't even know that my name's Laura.
Yeah, there was there. You know, you said this relationship, and I know he's just, come on now. LW, you make a stand. When you walk in the room, they know, man. Nuno knows, man. Come on now. Nuno knows.
Well, then in the post-match, he then called me Laura, and I was like, I wonder if the press officer said, by the way, that's not her name.
Oh my, hey, LW, on my life, it didn't even drop.
What?
I didn't drop it. Oh gosh. Even me, when you said Lauren, I was thinking, oh yeah, that's not even your name.
Oh my God, Byron!
Oh Lord, sorry. No. Hey,
no, that's my name.
Oh no, I just did a Nuno. That's my new one there. But when you said Lauren, I was thinking, Lauren. I was thinking, oh wait, did he say it very seductively? And then you went, Laura. I was like, oh snap, LW, Lauren, Laura. It's early. Listen, LW, my bad.
It's 12:30, so it's not even.
No, man, I
it's
don't go to bed till very late, like on afternoon.
I've just been disrespected by two of my favourite people. It turns out they both didn't even know my name.
Sorry, Lauren. I mean, Laura. Sorry. I'm flared.
Oh. Should we move on?
Yeah, let's move on swiftly.
You know how like players play on confidence? So do presenters, and now I feel like my confidence has been crushed.
Nah, come on, LW, come on. It was banter. You know, it's banter.
It's just banter, isn't it?
It's just banter.
Our guest this week is pretty special. He's just gone back to QPR, where he has a legacy. People absolutely love him there. The fans adore him. Let's go and meet our guest for this week's Super 6 podcast, Mr. Charlie Austin.
Yo.
Right, Charlie Austin, you are this week's guest. Thank you so much for joining us. How are you?
Yes, I'm fine. Thank you, Laura. How are you?
Not bad.
Yo, Charlie, what's going on, brother?
Good, you, pal. Not too bad. Nice to not have a midweek game for me. So just getting myself prepared for the next 4 weeks, mate. They're going to be busy times.
Yeah. I know we had one yesterday. And yeah, I mean, listen, you know, like... It's hard times, man. It's hard times for Wickham at the moment. You know, when it's just you just need to break the momentum, and you need to break it. And it's at the moment it's just a somber place, and the game just comes thick and fast, which is a good and a bad thing because it don't allow you to dwell on it because you can't. Like you just literally can't dwell on it because a game comes, but then momentum is nasty. So and it's infectious. Winning's infectious, losing's infectious.
Yeah, definitely. And with the losing thing, you want to just try and stop the rot. And almost like you want the next game to come. Same as winning, you want the next game to come to continue the run. But I'm sure you've got a good enough team spirit at this place to try and keep everyone afloat. And it's a tough it's a tough league, mate. Do you know what I mean? But we've got 19 games to go, so there's a long way to go.
Yeah, 100%. And I guess that's what we're finding. I mean, we know it, and until you get into it, you hear that it's a relentless league. You hear that it's tough. And of course, you know it because of the teams in there. But then when every game, listen, there was no doubting for Wycombe. We knew it was going to be an uphill struggle. But when every game is the big game, it's like, raw, and it comes thick and fast. But, yo, man, enough about me, though, Charlie. This is good because we got strikers that coming on that I still look up to. So this is nice for me. So we can dive into some stuff. LW, come on now.
Well, I just want to say thank you for putting him in a better mood, because I was a bit worried about him at the top, actually. He sounded somber, and a somber Bayo is not a good one. It's I was like, how are we going to get him out of this? You know, and you've come on and you've put a rocket up him.
Yeah, we'll be all right. We'll be infectious. We'll barge off each other.
Talking about putting rockets in places, you're back at QPR, and I mean the fan base have just been going ballistic. And I know that because I've spoken to you about this before, that you would have loved for them to be back in there at Loftus Road and, you know, cheering you guys on. But it's not to be at the moment. But being back at QPR for you, it must be quite special. How is it?
Yeah, very much so. Like I said, when the opportunity came, I grabbed it with both hands. I think as a footballer, I wanted a purpose again, Laura. Like I said to you before, you get to the weeks going on and they was just passing me by. Either I was in the squad as a sub or I wasn't making the squad, and it was just, I didn't want that to happen with my career. So as soon as that come up with QPR, I thought, right, I'm going to get a purpose back in my life again. I'm going to enjoy my football. Gone back to QPR and it's like I've never been away. The fans have been brilliant for me from the minute they heard the rumour.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm not happy you gone back there because you made the team stronger and that. So I'm not gonna lie, I'm not happy you've gone back there. But I tell you what, Charlie, explain to the people what it's like to go back to a place that you had so much success for. Did you go in with any a mindset thinking, oh, you know what, I did so well first, I don't want to kind of mess up my legacy? Or
no. I went, Bayo, determined to get to 50 goals. I went thinking, right, I'm getting to 50. I was on 48. So I was on 48 and missed 2 pens in the Prem. So that was niggling away at me. Do you know what I mean? That was annoying me, that. So I was like, right, I'm going to get there. But I just thought I played my happiest football when I was at QPR. The fans loved me. Yeah, I had the legacy thing and would it affect that? But I had every confidence in myself, because I still knew that I had stuff to prove. I wasn't finished. But if I continued the way I was and the games and the weeks were going past, you know, football waits for nobody. So if you don't play week in, week out, the next youngster comes through. And then all of a sudden, Charlie Austin was great 3-4 years ago, but we moved on from that now. So I just thought, go there, play some games of football, be fit, and then the chances will come, and I back my ability all the time.
How many goals are you on now?
50 now. 50, 94 games. Yeah.
Listen, congratulations. Congratulations. Like I keep saying, I don't care if it's one, you celebrate your wins, innit? And 50 in 94 games is certified. So I ain't going to lie. Charlie, you my guy, you my man, 100 grand. I don't want you to score no more unless it's just losses, because we need to try and catch you, man.
I know, mate. I know, it's very tight down there, But do you know what? I just feel that the way I'm going at the moment, you know, when you're playing teams, creative players behind you, chances are going to come. And I seem to have a good strike partnership at the moment. It's only 4 games been in with Lyndon Dyche. So I don't know. Sometimes, you know, when you don't train with people, that just clicks. It automatically clicks, and it clicked the first time against Luton. It's clicked ever since.
That must be such a relief to go in there, because is that something that plays on your mind when you think about going back to a club? It's not just about what you can do, but like gelling with a team that are already in place. Yeah,
of course. So I watched them play Fulham in the FA Cup, and then I went in to see them after. And I just laid it on the line, Laura, and I just said to them, listen, lads, I'm here to help. Don't think it's like the Charlie Austin show, this, that, and the other. I'm here to help and to perform, and I need you to help me as much as I can help you, and help the team and get us out of the situation that we currently find ourselves in. And that was it. I just laid it all on the line. Trained once on a Monday. And look, I scored on my debut. Every striker wants to score straight away and get off that duck egg. And to score and to win, it just injected confidence into the team, into the whole club. And I'll be honest with you, we're kind of riding a wave at the moment.
I don't think people realise, like, what energy and what a shift can be. So Charlie going there, saying what he's saying, and all of a sudden it's a different energy that's been there. And he's like, listen, boys, I'm here, man, and it's together. And then, of course, it then he scores the goal, it's wins, and then all of a sudden you become a band of brother within one game. And then you're right. I don't think people realise how powerful a shift is. You know what I'm saying? It's mad powerful. Again, I'm not happy with it, but but well done, Garno W.
So we're gonna step away from the Championship, because the more we talk about how you're affecting it, the sadder that Bayo will get. So we'll just step away from it for a second, because we want to take you back to like your early days playing for your local teams in your late teens, Poole Town, Swindon, all that sort of stuff. Tell us about your time and how you came into football.
I was at Academy, Reading, got released when I was 15. Was too small. I was small, but I wasn't enjoying it, the back end of it. I think that was the most important thing. Through 13 and 14, I thought I was very good and this, that, and the other. Come 15, I come back from like the summer break. Everyone had grown and I was obviously still small as such. I just said to my dad, look, I ain't enjoying this no more, mate. They was taking me up twice a week. It wasn't none of this day release stuff, twice a week, stuff, game on a Sunday. And I was like, I ain't enjoying it. He's like, well, look, if you're not enjoying it, don't go. I'm not going to put no pressure on you. And they was brilliant. Do you know what I mean? My parents never forced me to do anything. So the moment that happened, I spoke to the coaches and my dad spoke to the coaches and we kind of come to an agreement that I was allowed to leave. The best thing was I went back to play with my schoolmates and where I was enjoying it, weekends, having fun. And that was it. That's what I lost. And I actually played men's football at 15. I got released from Reading. I played a year's I think it was year 9 or something at school, years football with the school team and that. And then I was playing men's football on a Saturday for Kimpby Rangers and I was playing for Hungerford on a Sunday. Do you know what I mean? Under 15s. That's what was the best bit about it.
To be fair, our producer Tom said he played against you for Hungerford. I can't remember the team he played for, but he still says it's his claim to fame and that he played against you for Hungerford. But I mean, I think it's funny because you've said it twice, like playing at your happiest, just playing football at your happiest. You know, you mentioned, Reading, and then you went back and then you started playing with the man, then playing with your happy. So then what, after Hungerford, where did you go from there? I
went to Poole Town, right? And the thing was with Hungerford, I found Friday nights. I won't lie, when I was there, I was 17, 18, I found Friday nights. I was a builder, mate, coming home in the van, a couple of pints on the way, like in the van with the lads. And then I was
cash in your pocket.
Yeah, I think you're right, I'm game tomorrow. Nah, that'd be all right, I'm going out. Do you know what I mean? That was what it was. So I never really took it that serious and I probably needed to take the move away. My parents moved to Bournemouth and I was like 18 at the time. It was like Hungerford or Bournemouth. I could still do my day job for my dad, so let's just move. I got like Poole Town was a local team. They said they would take me down there on like not a trial as such, but non-leagues, like just go and play, see if you're any good and fit in.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, I started taking it a bit more serious and not going out on a Friday. And then I just started scoring. And then after about 7-8 games, they said, "Oh, can you sign a contract?" And I was like, yeah, all right, 50 quid a week. Contract, who's going to sign me? Like, no problem. Me and the old chap was thinking, happy days. You know what I mean? It was like 50 quid and a tenner a goal. I was buzzing. So that was the beer tokens for Saturday night and Sunday. and that was it, mate, really. And look, I'd done throughout the year, I just linked really well with the manager and I found that I was getting better step by step. I was more happy playing, scoring goals. We won the league, 46 games, 46 goals. I was so annoyed. I should have got 50, right? But the manager, he bet me 250 quid I wouldn't get to 40. So I got there and he said, right, I'll give you 500 if we get to 50. So I was like, all right, yeah, no problem. Right, it was like the third last game season. We played Horndean, who was relegated. I was sub-unused. They won 10-0. Sub-unused, mate. Yeah. Still to this day, it infuriates me.
So when you see teams losing 9-0 twice, you kind of sit there and you're like, you've been on the bench for one of those sort of games, even though you didn't play in it.
Yeah, they're just attackers' dreams. You just think, right, get me on the pitch. Martial, prime example, get on the pitch, boom, come away with a brace. No one worries about come the end of the season. When they look at his stats, scored 2 in that game, 1 in this game. So yeah, when that's happening, you just want to get on the pitch as quickly as possible.
I want to talk to you about your time at Swindon as well. So basically, that was Poole Town. Then you moved to Swindon. You had a good partner there as well, didn't you? Tell us about Billy.
Oh, that was an interesting one. Do you know what? When I signed, Billy found himself out the team. and not really in the starting 11 in the squad he was, but he was more like a sub unused such because they brought in like 3 loan players to play up front. And me and Billy played in a not a pre-season game, sorry, like a friendly game, midweek friendly against Reading Reserves. We both scored 2. And I'm sure Brendan Rodgers was the manager of Reading at the time. And yeah, I'm sure he was. It was like 2000, when was that? Like 2009. So I'm sure I might have been the manager of Reading. I'm not sure. I might have actually made that up. I don't really know. Might have plucked that out of the air. So that was it. Anyway, we played Tranmere on Saturday. We both scored 2. And Billy started and I never. And then I come on, we won 4-1. And then the following week was FA Cup. So I was cup tied. Playing for Poole Town, the FA Cup qualifying rounds meant I couldn't play against Fulham later on in that year. What about that? First round qualifying round, couldn't even play against Fulham later on. Disaster. But I played and we just, again, me and Billy just hit it off in that one game. We never really trained as much together as a pair until we actually started playing in the first 11. And then we just went from strength to strength as a partnership.
You had a moment as well. So 2010 League One playoff final, lost to Millwall. But what was it like, getting to Wembley, going through that sort of thing?
Well, that was incredible, right? We played Charlton in the playoffs, 2-1 at home, 2-1 away, 1 on penalties. 2-1 at home, went 2-0 up. To be honest, I missed 3 chances in the first 10 minutes, just like, is it going to be one of them nights? Do you know what I mean? Like, then I scored second half, put us 1-0 up, and we won. We won that leg. Anyway, we've gone there. We have a man sent off. We're 2 down. We're thinking, oh, well, that's it, season over. But we actually equalised and won on penalties, which was brilliant. Stephen Darby obviously scored the winner. He's suffering from MND at the moment, and I wish him all the best luck fighting that. He scored the winner. It was that incredible achievement to then get to the final. Imagine my first game, Bayo, right? I played New Milton at home for Poole Town. 100 fans, right? 100 fans. My last game of that season, League One playoff final, 72,000 at Wembley.
Jeez.
You couldn't make it up. But then couldn't make it up. The game, get beat 1-0, and I missed a massive chance. Robinson headed me the ball. I've gone flying in on goal. I've just opened the foot up like an old Henri kind of shoot. Not only did I do that, the ball bubbled up, hit me on the shin, and I'm not joking you, it went like an absolute dart past the post. Oh.
So, all right, tell me. Gutted. So, okay. Now, so paint that picture, right? So, beginning of the year, you're Port Talbot. The end of the year, you're in a playoff final. So, was it? I'm trying to ask the question: Was you just fearless in the sense of your mentality was like?
I was raw, I was raw, and what I mean by that, I knew how to score goals, and I like to mix it and fight. Do you know what I mean? So that kind of give me that edge. But I'll take you back in the summer before I signed for Swindon. I actually trained 6 months with Bournemouth, and they had a transfer embargo, so couldn't sign me. Eddie Howe was the manager, and he couldn't sign me. And I remember going to see him on deadline day and saying, "Eddie, look, Swindon want to give me a trial." So mind you, I was still playing for Poole Town. I scored 18 goals in 11 games for them at the start of the season, but I was training Bournemouth. I had that professional pre-season. I was miles better than everyone in Step 5 Wessex League now. My fitness took me miles better. So I always say, if I didn't do them 6 weeks of Eddie Howe, I don't think I would have been able to take that step so quickly.
Okay. So then, all right. So you lose the playoff.
Yes.
Final. Talk to me. What's your feelings there? Is it like, right, you know what? This football thing's easy.
After the game, I've gone up to see my family and my agent and stuff. And he's buzzing, my agent. Oh, Chaz, you so well. I was like, what? Just missed to see it, mate. You beat the final. But he was like looking at long term. He's like, look what you've achieved, etc., to get there. And I was like, yeah. I went away in the summer with my wife and stuff like that. And we was looking back. We was only young now. I was 21. She was 20. Like thinking, this is mad. What could happen? I remember the first time, being away, I was in Turkey at the time, and it come along, Sky Sports just caught the bottom saying Cardiff was linked, like interested in me. Yeah. I remember ringing my agent, like I was like a kid in the country. Oh, Cardiff coming in for me. He's like, just slow down. This is what happens with football. Because it was only like the first time ever like I'd ever been linked with anything. But then obviously it was just paper talk like it is. I enjoyed my summer, come back from pre-season. Didn't do nothing through the summer, right? Sloppy. I didn't know what I know now. Come back, first day of pre-season, bleep test, and then you realise how how serious the pro game is and how serious these
I'm glad you touched on that. How much has football moved on? Just before you kick on there, actually, your partnership was mad. I think that 2010 season, I was at Northampton. I think we got relegated that season. And I swear you scored up at Sixfields. I think you beat us 4. To be fair, your partnership was just mad. You and Painter was just... It was a mad partnership, man. Just got to salute that. I just wanted to say that just because everybody thinks I can't remember stories and that because I'm mere old and that. But I remember you two's partnership. It was mad. All right, cool. Because you touched on the whole, know what you know now. How much has football moved on? Because I'm the same. Pre-season for me, the end of season was the end of season. Pre-season was what you had to do to get fit. You know what I'm saying? But how much now has it moved on in the sense where there's a pre-season before you go back to pre-season?
But you see it all everywhere now. This is the thing with social media. You see it everywhere. Everyone wants to show them skipping or boxing or running on a beach. No, Tom, what are you on about, mate? Enjoy your summer. But do you know what I mean? It's changed. It's true, isn't it? I don't care. I don't care how fast you've done a 5K. Well done, mate. Well done. It's true. It's true. If you're doing it yourself, what are you doing to show off? Do it for yourself. If you know you've done it, you do. What you want? Someone to say, oh, great work. Can't wait for you to come back and help my team. Rubbish. Rubbish.
Charlie.
It is. But no, it's changed massively. And but the game's changed. For when I started to where the game is, the game's changed now.
Yeah. I want to talk to you about Burnley, and in particular Sean Dyche as well, the influence that he had on you. So you signed for Burnley in January 2011, didn't you?
Yes.
Why did you go there?
Eddie Howe. Eddie Howe took me there. I was his first signing, and it was my right time, to be honest. I kind of, Swindon, I'd done well, 17 goals in the following season, then backed at halfway, and then he just said, look, I felt like my career was there to take the next step. Although it was only short and I'd only been at Swindon 14 months, I just thought, right, let's go and grasp the challenge. And I've gone, and unfortunately got a shoulder injury, which kept me out for the rest of that season. But he was brilliant for me, Eddie Howe. Just kept me involved. And it was the first time I moved away from home. It's a long way, Hungerford to Burnley.
How old were you at the time then in 2011? How old would you have been?
21,
wow. So when you're a 21-year-old and you make a big move like that, and actually those two managers, how good were they for you in different ways? Because obviously Eddie Howe, everyone's really glowing of
Two
what
things,
he does.
Laura. Eddie Howe, perfect for me at the start. I moved away from home with my wife now. We moved up there. We didn't really know what he's at. Flat, like apartment and that on our own. First time, obviously, we've been away from our parents and stuff. And then we kind of, the way he got me in, the chef made up food for me to take home and all stuff like that. Took everything out of my hand, and he continued to do that for me. Even when we had like our first child, the chef continued to make food for us to take all the stress away from us. He was brilliant on and off the pitch, but we kind of took the mick out a little bit from the Burnley players because he always kept me behind to do extras. And I was like, why is he always picking on me? What am I doing extras for? And it was only till I realised, until I was taking them extras into the game, that I thought, nah, this guy's like the real deal. He's for me. And then for personal reasons, obviously he moved back to Bournemouth. But then Sean Dyche came in, he was a completely different manager, just made me more, I don't know. He just made me want to fight more. He was a manager. I wanted to run for a brick wall for Eddie Howe, but he was heart on his sleeve. He said, right, you're this good, but can you go to the next level? And obviously that's what I tried to do for him. And personal note, it's come to the end of the season when I went to go to Hull, and when that move fell through, that's when I just grew for the man. He kind of looked after me, come back, made sure I was on it for pre-season for that 6 weeks, that every day. I actually thought he was picking on me, but it wasn't until the day I left. It was because he wanted to get the best out of me and for the best for me, really.
So, like, for me, Charlie, when I'm hearing you chat about, like, your career, and don't take this in a way where I know it wasn't easy, but it just seemed like it just rolled. Yeah. So, you Swindon, 14 months, banged it up. Yeah. Burnley, manager came in, done your thing, banged it up. And it just kept on, it rolled. So, your mentality in the sense where, so, like, you're saying that both managers, Howe and Dyche, like, I listened to Dyche's interview now, and, he's to the point. He's raw. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? He's like, listen, I don't sugarcoat stuff. This is what I need from you. Yeah. So was that thing that kind of gave you that kick up to then continue to go to other clubs and then just be ice cold and score your goals?
Yeah, I think so. Like, it was weird because I went to Swindon and done well, then went to Burnley and done very well. But like I said, it just almost happened. I played with good players, mate. When I was for Swindon, I played good. This when League One was tough. Do you know what I mean? Southampton, Norwiches and stuff like that. Charlton, Millwall was in there. Do you know what I mean? At the time, Leeds were even in League One. Then we'd gone to the Championship going through. I played Kieran Trippier used to put the ball on a sixpence for me. He always makes runs and he's just find me all the time. I remember scoring a header from outside the box against Millwall. He just finds this half little chip diag to me. I don't know how he does it to this day. Like I say, I played with good players. You know what I mean? I played with Danny Ings, who'd gone on to play for Liverpool, having a good career at Southampton. So they made it easy for me. I just made good runs and put the ball in the back of it.
Tell us a little bit about Sean Dyche. There's a story actually that you've told me before about a certain celebration that you and a few of the teammates did that didn't go down too well with him.
Yeah, we played Bolton away. I think something must have happened. What's Dodgeball or the night before or something in the week.
Bad boy movie, by the way. Let me just put that out there. Very good movie. I'm just
that was on. And literally, we scored. We said, right, if we score, get to like by the corner line and start doing the old cobra, like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, the cobra.
Yeah. So anyway, David Edgar scores. He had the Everspool centre half. I remember him scoring. We ran over and there's like 4 or 5 of us doing this cobra, right? Fine. First half, boshed it. He says nothing half time. Well done, lads. Keep going, keep going. Come out second half. Bolton battered us. Couldn't touch the ball. They beat us 2-1. We're coming on a Monday morning. There's just a screen in the canteen, mate. Just replaying. Not the goal, the celebration.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, mate. He's going, what is that? I never, ever want to see that ever on this football pitch for my team ever again. You don't see Man United doing things like that. Don't see Chelsea doing things like that. Like, you don't see Liverpool doing. And we was like, oh my God. Look, pull no punches. I think the next goal we scored, Bayo, it was like the old Shearer with the arm in the air.
Oh, wow. Dyche would hate me. Oh, my days. Oh, so he was like that. He was real, nah, you know what? Score your goal, take your ass back to the halfway line and go again.
He's like, score your goal, be humble, celebrate, of course, but don't act the goat, he was like. That was him. Don't act the goat.
But in a way, you were actually ahead of the curve because he says Manchester United don't do that. Now look at Paul Pogba. Now look at Jesse Lingard before he moved away. They're all like that. They all do their little dances.
That's what I mean. They're all at it. They're all at it. So let's just say we was a bit before the time.
Listen, I've got a couple of records to read out to you. So you equalled Ray Pointer's club record for scoring in 8 consecutive appearances. And that was set way back in the 1958-59 season. I don't remember it personally. You also became the quickest ever player to reach 20 goals in a season after scoring in a 1-0 win over Leeds United. That was your 17th appearance of the season. So really, I mean, you had a brilliant time there on paper, didn't you? So why only stay for a short amount of time?
I loved it, Joe. I loved it there. I really did. But one thing that annoys me, the Ray Pointer record, we actually played Cardiff away, and that was before Sean Dyche come in. And I missed a big chance against Cardiff. That would have made it 8. Then I went to score. That would have made it 9. I scored against Wolves the following Saturday, would have been 10. And then I scored against Leeds. That would have been 11. So I'd have set a whole new record. Oh. But to be part of Burnley Football Club history is massive, ain't it? Listen, to move on, I just felt it was time. It was time for me in that place. I was going to...
How long was you there for?
2 years in the end, 2.5 years. Okay, but I could have stayed. I really could have. In football times, I could have stayed. I had a year left. But I was going to Hull in the Premier League. That's where I was going, ultimately. Yeah. But obviously, that's the medical didn't go through and stuff. And then the club, we was talking about a new deal and stuff, but the club was not going in a different direction, but they was in different financial position than what they are now. And I moved on and got sold to 4 million to QPR. And that was a whole another book I was going to.
I bet. Talk to us about that time, because there are a couple of crazy years in there, promotion, relegation, owner change of board. I mean, just describe what that was like.
Yeah, when I was going in, that was a crazy one. So many names. Do you know what I mean? Julio Cesar, Del Turrat, Joey Barton, Bobby Zamora, Luke Young, Andy Johnson. Like, we got Richard Dunn. We're just reeling off names here.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is in the Prem, right? You went to
this is in the
right?
Champ. This is in the Champ.
Whoa. Oh, jeez.
No, we were Nico Crancher, mate. We are talking serious team, mate. So
this is under Harry Redknapp, right? Sorry, yeah. It's Harry Redknapp, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I go, and I think the reason why I got so much, like, the fans loved me, obviously because I'd done well and scored the goals, but because I was coming in as Charlie, not a big name, I scored goals for Burnley and Swindon. So there was someone they could, like, feed off. Then all of a sudden, I start doing well, and it goes now. But I'm in the dressing room. I remember going to see first day, Bear, right? Turn up to training ground. Security guard lets me in. I'm driving in. I'm on the phone to my dad at the time. I said, Dad, right, I'm just getting training room. Oh, wait, Dad, don't go. Like, Joey Barton's there. He said, oh, you're going to meet him in a minute. So I was like, yeah, right. So I said, right, Dad, I'll catch you later. I'll ring you when I'm on the way home. Fine. I park up probably about 3 spaces away, get out of the car. Like, we make eye contact. He gets in the car.
Gets in what car?
In the car. His car. Drives off.
What?
So he wasn't very personable then?
No, drives off. No, listen, no, it gets better. It drives off, right? I was thinking, what's going on here? Anyway, I didn't think nothing of it. Betsy manager, fine. Next day, he came up to me and was just like, I am so sorry. Didn't recognise you. Didn't realise until I got home and all this stuff. I was like, oh, it's absolutely, it's fine. Like, do you know what I mean? But then we was fine. Then he took me like under his wing at football at the club and stuff, and it was like.
All right, so all right, so Charlie, I ain't gonna lie. I know you're mad confident, but like you said, you reeled off those names.
Yeah.
And like you know what I'm saying. You'd been at Burnley, scored your goals, you back your ability. But how was you? Did you ever doubt that you would go and score goals to Cooper?
Not goal scorer, no, because I backed my ability. Let me tell you about it. First training session, right? First training session, doubt myself in a box. Jermaine Genius, Sean Wright Phillips, Danny Simpson. I could reel them all off, right? We're in a box. I was rubbish. They must have been thinking, what is going on here? Who have we signed? I was rubbish. And honestly, I remember one, right? So we're going through, I started scoring a couple. I think it must have been about 5 or 6. The day before we played Charlton at home, yeah? We did shooting after the game, after training. It's like 2 and in. I'm not joking you. I must have been there 30 minutes. Couldn't hit a barn door, mate. Couldn't hit a barn door. Charlton at home the next day, get the ball 5 yards out, wallop straight in the stanch. Couldn't believe it, mate. You see the lads was like, what is going on here? Sometimes you got it, sometimes you haven't.
It's true. Listen, it is true. Sometimes you got them training players and then you got game players and you just know the game players out here. So, you know what? I want to know, innit? Because everybody talks about Tarat.
Yeah.
So everybody chats about him. Like, talk to me. Was he that good? Was he a baller?
Only what the people before me said, like, he was unbelievable. It's unreal. Then I remember being in the change room. Like, Gary Tarat was there. Look, Remy was there. I signed. I'm going to Loic. I was thinking I'm going to partner him. I said, what are you doing? He said, I'm going to Newcastle. I was like, all right, mental. That was that. I was going to change to see Tarat. I was like, Adele, you going to stay? He's like, me? Go Fulham. I was like, what? So he's off to Fulham, thinking, this is mad. So he's gone. He comes back in January, right? I'm thinking, right, he's going to help us go forward. Off he goes, AC Milan, plays Champions League. Oh, we're grinding it out of champ. We're going to the Championship. He's going to Champions League. Jeez. He come back when we was in the Prem, like, and I just think London must have got hold of him, like, when he was here. But technically, he was incredible. The skills and that he showed in training was brilliant. And I wish as a striker you could play with people like that. So I wish I could have played with Tarbs probably 2 years before I actually signed for the club.
You did in that first season. You scored 20 goals. You got promotion by the playoffs as well, and you made your way up. That's like, I mean, you must have just settled quite quickly, even though you're saying in your first training session you couldn't hit barn door and whatever, and there were some big personalities there. To get that in the first season, that's an achievement. Yeah,
and I think the reason why it was a great achievement, but I didn't lose faith in the lads. The lads always like backed me and had faith, and as a striker and that, the confidence is massive. And because I knew I had the back in the lads, it was fine. There was always like, you get one, they'll keep coming, and that's what happened. And then to go, I remember playing the playoff final when we played Derby. the starting 11 for us, I was the only person not to play in the Premier League. Like we had Rob Green in goal, Danny Simpson right back, Nedum Anua, Richard Dunn, Clint Hill, Nico Cranchaw, Gary O'Neill, Joey Barton. I don't want to be missing anyone out. Me and Kevin Doyle was there. I was like, oh my Lord. Junior Hoylett. So you're thinking like, I'm the only one not to play in the Prem. Listen, we've got to do this. The club's got to get there. When we won the game, it was like, well, Charlie Austin's a Premier League player. Like within the space of like 4 years, 5 years, it was bonkers.
Your first playoff final you lost. Your second one you won.
Yes.
Right. So what was your mentality going into it? So what was your feeling? So you'd been there before. Going in there, was you as nervous, or was you like, nah, man, I'm good? Yeah.
No, I was more nervous. Second leg playoff semi-final, Bayo. I was more nervous. Wigan at home. Wigan at home. I scored 2. I was more nervous than we stayed in the hotel. I didn't sleep in the afternoon. I was actually very nervous. That was up there.
Why?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I tried to go to sleep. I couldn't. I think I just couldn't wait for the game to start. But I can't explain to you why I was nervous. I just don't know. It's just one of them. I think it was just like a big moment for me in the football club. We got to there, but you hadn't achieved nothing. And then we get to the final, and I was a bit more relaxed because I thought in this dressing room we've got a lot of experience. So to get it done, we'll get over the line. However, I didn't expect Gary O'Neill to get sent off after 60 minutes, although it is a great tackle. It was a life-changing tackle for me, that for sure.
What about the playoff final then? There's a Moura goal, your view of it. Just talk us through that whole game.
I come out, it was lashing down with rain. And then within about 5 minutes, it disappeared. The sun came out. It was roasting hot day at Wembley. Massive pitch, Bayo, isn't it, right?
Massive.
So that's it. I think I had a shot after about 5 minutes from about 40 yards. Why, I don't know. Gone flying away. The half is gone. They've absolutely peppered us, Derby. I don't think we've touched the ball or nothing. Second half comes out and they break. And obviously Gary gives a foul and gets a red card. Thinking, oh, my God. Rob Green, Richard Dunn, just save, header, clearance constantly. Hey, Harry goes to me, Chaz, need you on the left wing. Left wing! I promise you, I don't think I touched the ball for the last half an hour of that playoff final. And the moment that happened when we had a throw-in down the line, Junior makes a tackle and cuts it back for Bobby. Richard Keir makes a mistake. I'm on the left corner of the box. I just couldn't make it. I was done 89 minutes. When that ball went in, it was the feeling, and that was incredible. I remember giving Bobby like a big cuddle in there, and I must have had Vicks like on my shirt. I just remember him going, he couldn't get out because obviously I got on. Yeah, Chaz, you got Vicks on your shirt. I was like, yeah.
Oh, it's a feeling, and it's the same. I mean, when Joe Jacobson scored that pen, like for us to get into the championship, it was the feeling like you're just like, oh snap, raw. It's a feeling that it's so hard to explain to others, in the sense where raw, for all the hard work and the grind, the disappointment, it is just to bottle that up and constantly just be able to go back to that. It's just such a feeling, man.
I think it also, like, it's the relief. You work so hard for 46 games in the league, then you've got 3 cup finals, and then to finally achieve what the team goal is. Only you and Wickham will know whether that was your ultimate season goal to get promoted. But when it actually happens at the end of the season, what you're thinking as a team in that dressing room, we've done it.
Yeah,
we've achieved what we set out to do.
Can I talk to you about your spells at Southampton and West Brom as well? Your time at Southampton, first of all, let's do that. How did you find that? Did you enjoy it?
Of course I enjoyed it, of course. Imagine signing for a club. I watched them play West Brom at home and they won 3-0. Honestly, James Ward-Prowse scored a penalty and a free kick. And anyway, so that was West Brom. I signed by Ronald Koeman, unreal. He's Barcelona manager. Been manager by Barcelona gaffer. And do you know what I mean? So that week, I think training was fine and stuff. I'm in the squad, go to Old Trafford. I come off the bench and score my debut at Old Trafford. You can't write it. 1-1-0. 1-1-0.
on now. Who was your team? Who was your team? Who was the players that was at Southampton?
Fraser Forster in goal. Cedric Suarez was right back. Jose Font and Van Dijk. Ryan Bertrand was left. Then we had Prowsey, Victor Wanyama, Jordi Classy, Dusan Tadic, Sadio Mane, and Shane Long played up front then. I come on for Sadio.
Hey, but you was with the ballers. Hey, talk to me about VVD, cuz. Talk to me about VVD.
I don't know.
Charlie, tell him the story. You've got to tell him the story.
Yeah, that was a joke, wasn't it? So, this is like Pellegrino is in charge now, and we're on the Judy at Chelsea away, yeah? And I said, this is like middle of December, I'm going Virg. Listen, I support Liverpool, wasn't it? So I was going Virg.
Yeah.
Man United must have come in for you. They're having one at the back. And he's going, Chaz, they're like in the summer, we thought like we might have got it done, or there might have been like something to happen. But they went for Lindelof instead. I said,
hold on.
You what?
Wait, United could have got VVD, but went for Lindelof.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm not going to lie, thank you, United, because you know I'm Liverpool as well.
Yeah.
So thank you, because then we got the best centre-half. So you played up close. So
yeah.
I think he is the best. At the moment, before he get injured, I thought, did you know then, like, VVD's a problem?
No, when I was there, everyone says he's like, not lazy, but just takes it easy. It's not. He reads the game better than everyone else. That's as long as it is. He reads the game better than everyone else. And he got to a level at Southampton where it almost come too easy, and he needed to play with better players. I mean that respectfully to the whole team that we used to do. Yeah. But he needed for him to go to the next level, he needed to play with better players as such. And he went to Liverpool, and in the 18 months, he won the Champions League and a league winner, Premier League winner. So he was incredible. I remember one day when the Europa League was at San Siro training before. I'm not joking, mate. He volleyed this ball so high, mate. It must have gone above the San Siro, and when it came down, touch. Deadly. Just stop. He was a joke.
I've seen him do things like that. You know, when you go to football matches and you're in the media, so just before when they're coming out and they're training and you're sitting there quite early on and you see him do those kind of balls, like you say, where they just go, they're so high and you think it's going to come down and hit someone on the head, and then there's just that little control, like it was just like he'd just been chipping it. It was just ridiculous.
He just found it easy. And do you know what gets taken for granted? You know that left side diag he plays out to Trent?
Yeah.
His accuracy for it got 95 plus.
Yeah, it's mad.
Joe, I remember Ryan Bertrand. Ryan Bertrand used to have a little moan up because he used to play left-hand side, Virg did, and Jose used to play right. And Ryan was like, Virg, you keep passing the ball out to Cedric, perfect. I've got Jose curly toeing it out to me down the left-hand side.
When you've told that story, so you told that story a couple of weeks ago, and not a lot of people have heard that. You could tell by the reaction. Did you get anything back from it? Did you get anything from him going, what are you doing?
No,
from anyone else?
He was, do you know what I got? I got a Snapchat from him just giving me the big thumbs up.
What, from him?
Yeah, and that was it. But it was just one of them. I just come out of it and then I didn't realise what I'd said. Let's just go with it. All of a sudden, it's everywhere.
That's what happens when you tell secrets to me, Charlie.
I know.
You can't tell me anything because it'll come out on air somehow.
I know, somehow, some way.
No, they're great stories though, because I think it kind of gives everyone like us an insight into what actually happens behind closed doors in football, because all of these kind of things and these transfers and the fact that you're linked to different clubs, you know, a lot of time, you said it earlier on, it is just paper talk, but a lot of stuff doesn't come out.
Of course it doesn't come out, but you can't be people in football can't be naive enough to say Man City and Liverpool is the only teams to be interested in Virgil van Dijk.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? Chelsea would have been interested in Virgil van Dijk. The numbers obviously didn't work for them at the time. Like, didn't work for United. So the numbers didn't work for City.
Okay, let's go back to you, because your time at West Brom as well. So actually, you know what? Before we do, can we talk to you about Mane? Because we've kind of done Van Dijk. We haven't really done Mane.
Terrible gear. Terrible clothes.
Really?
No, but listen, he done the best advert for Next, right? There's an image somewhere. No, I'm not joking. Listen, I'm not joking, but it's deadly serious. He's got a hat trick, yeah? against Liverpool.
Oh, I remember that game.
Celebrated, took his top off. His shorts were a bit lower, I'm not joking. The top bit of his boxers was going around. Next.
Oh, swear down.
I'm not joking. Laura, promise there's a picture of it. I swear, I'm not even joking.
I think he's Liverpool's best player. That's what I do, you know what I'm saying? Especially going forward. Like, did you know then? You know, you came on from, did you know that? Like,
No. He had the raw ultimate pace and he was obviously technically very good, but it was like, where's his game going to go now? Is it going to go to the next level and is it going to go and push on? And he's gone to Liverpool and he's achieved that and he's gone on to so much more.
Okay, I get that.
What about you then, Charlie? Let's go back to you and talk to you about the time at West Brom, because you can just hear in your voice now you're loving going back and you're loving playing at QPR. So how difficult was it at West Brom?
Yeah, the back end was, of course, because I wasn't playing. But the way it was going for me, going there and achieving promotion, that was the best. I went there to achieve promotion for the football club. They come so close the day before, like the season before, and just fell short. But to go there and reach promotion, look, we was the best team. We was the best team until lockdown. We'd come back from lockdown and we was almost like the 7th best team. We wouldn't even look like we was going to get promoted. And then all of a sudden, the results went our way. And rightly so, in the end, we got promoted second behind Leeds, who was in that short period of the 9-game season, was the best team.
What was it like under Slaven as well? Because obviously they let him go, but to achieve promotion, and it did feel like you were a good group, you know, to get that together. And then for things not to go well in the Premier League, bad to worse for Slaven, and then they eventually got rid of him. What was that like?
Premier League's tough. We got promotion with him and he was brilliant and we achieved it as a group. And then we'd gone into the Premier League and look, we was just falling a little bit short and we couldn't pick up the wins that we needed at the right time. And look, maybe we needed a change. I don't know. But that's football. To be a football manager now, it's a results-based business and we've seen it all over the place with Lampard earlier on this year.
Let me ask you something. So, you know, when you're not playing, because you seem bubbly as hell, you're a character. I think when you're not playing, can you hide your emotions? Tell me what a Charlie Austin like is when things ain't going bless.
Do you know what? It's when around the training ground, around the lads, you have to be your happy, bubbly self. Because if you have one day off from that, people think there's something wrong. All right, there is something wrong because you're not playing. But that's what I found the most. I just can't continue to be that character. However, when I went through the stage where I wasn't in the squads, like when I was told, listen, you have to go and run, like he never told me. Like the assistant manager said, oh, Chess, you need to go with a fitness guy and run. I was like, what? It's like, yeah, you're not in the squad. Like you're not in the squad to go to Everton. That was like the first time I was deep down, first time in my career, I was gutted. I was left out of the squad. I was gutted. Yeah, deep down, I was like my pride took a big kick. And I was like, am I not in the squad? What's going on here? And then it kind of went on again. A couple more weeks. I just remember volleying a couple of balls. Stupid. And then the window shut. And I was like, I spoke to my agent, kind of had it out of my agent, a bit of home truth, and that he give it to me. And I was fine with it. And I thought, right, that's it. Roll my sleeves up. Let's give this a right go and be prepared for an opportunity to come mid-December, whether I'm involved with West Brom or it's to an opportunity to move on somewhere else, I'm going to be ready. Yeah. Because if I don't do that in October, then it's not going to happen in December. If I start thinking in December, right, I need to start fixing up, too late. So I've bust my balls in training, worked harder than I ever had done. Got back in his plans. All right, a couple of injuries and that, but all of a sudden, he forced his hand, put me in the squads, and I've gone from going home on a Saturday afternoon, or training in the morning with 2-3 people and the fitness coach, to then coming on at St James's Park at halftime, coming off the bench at Man City. So I must have the position I am now.
So Charlie, you're talking about the amount of work that you've been doing in the media, and we were saying, me and Bayo said, you're very good at it, you're really honest. You've also got something called Studs Up, which is a podcast where you're actually doing our job. Tell us about how you're enjoying it and a little bit about what it is. Yeah,
look, I just wanted to try and dip my toe in the media, and it started to go really well. And then I was approached to do a podcast, let's say Studs Up. It's a mixture of football and horse racing, something that I'm both passionate about.
Right, me too. Horse racing. Yeah, man. Come on,
yeah.
I did not know you're into horse racing.
Yeah, because I really ain't, bro.
Come on, dude. I love you, Nolan. Look, just one of them. Look, just get talking about it. Get current and ex-footballers on that are interested in both, really, and want to talk freely and openly. Look, podcast is there for me to kind of express my opinions a bit more, but then get the interaction with the guests as such. It's a bit different being on the other side, although I do have a good sparring partner. Oli Bell does help me with that. He takes a lot of the load and I just reap the rewards off the back of it.
So listen,
he's professional, isn't he?
Yes.
So listen, you still got bare years left. Like, but is that what you want to go into? Like the media, like when you finish football, would you go into coaching? Would you more the punditry? What is it?
I don't know. I've always thought about being I'd like to be a manager. I always say a manager and a coach is two different things. I still believe that now. I do, unless you are very specific, top Guardiola coach, manager, got it down to a T. I do think that's Mark Warburton, prime example, top manager. Really enjoy working for him. He knows, like John Eustace does to coaching. Like, do you know what I mean? But manager stuff is top. He's top draw. And for me, I think there's two different things. The media, I think it's what I don't know. My voice and my opinions half made to do. So, look, if that opportunity continues to come, I'm gonna keep doing it because I guess it's something I enjoy doing.
I think it translates very well. It's like Bayo said earlier on, you've got that sort of element to you where it just feels like you can talk about anything and people like listening to it, including us, hence why we've had you on.
Thank you.
Charlie, talk to me. What was your best goal? Best goal that stands out, and who best player you played with and best player you played against?
Best goal have to be the one I scored for QPR against Southampton. It was just like Vargas cut it back to me and I kind of plucked out the air, right foot and spun, left foot straight in. It was a bit like, don't ask me to recreate it because it's one I'll never be able to do. But that would be like the best goal. Best player I played with, easy, say Van Dijk. Do you know what I mean? Van Dijk was top. Sadio, but Van Dijk stood up head and shoulders. Best player played against. Do you know what? From an attacking point of view, Man City beat us 6-0 on a second last or third last game, I think it was, to relegate us. QPR at the time from the Prem. Sergio Aguero scored a hat-trick. It was the best individual display. I think they won 6-0, but as a centre-forward, I see him play. He controlled the game from centre-forward position. He was a joke.
Yeah.
Got a thing about playing against QPR, hasn't he, that man?
Yeah, honestly. I guess QPR's just a team for him. But
isn't it?
Guy's unbelievable. He scored over, is he leading goal scorer for Man City? Listen, the guy deserves every accolade that he's set.
He's a problem. He's a strong
certainly is.
He's a problem.
He certainly is.
Okay. Charlie, we really will let you go now. As always, just great to hear from you. Great to talk to you. Good luck with the podcast.
Brother. Charlie, keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you very much. Thank you all.
Blessings, brother.
There you go, another podcast, another great character. We seem to get these brilliant names on at the moment, and I'm just loving hearing what I feel is like unedited chat, Bayo.
Yeah. I like it. You know, like you said, we've been getting in these characters who are just authentic, and especially the last two strikers that have done it. I wouldn't say the proper way, that's done it the long way. So it just for me echoes that there is all different processes that you to get to where you want to get to. So man, like Charlie's the real deal. I ain't gonna lie to you. He's the real deal. He says it raw. He says it how he plays in the sense where, listen, he's refined his game. He may try and take that, but I like it, man. He's to the point. I've got time for him.
Unfiltered, definitely.
Unfiltered. That's what I should have said.
Yeah.
Unfiltered, yeah.
Okay, right. It's time now to look at the Super 6 fixtures for round 34. So let's get into it. Download the Super 6 app, create an account and play for free by predicting the scores of 6 chosen matches to be in with a chance of winning £250,000 this week. Another reminder as well, you can invite your friends. They can join Super 6, and if any of your invited friends go on to win the jackpot, they win £25,000 for you. You're the one that takes that home. So make sure you get involved, as we could be talking about you next week. So, prediction time. Bayo, are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
Here we
Let's
go.
go. Yeah.
6 games, our predictions. First one, Crystal Palace versus Burnley. Go for it.
2-1 Palace. Heavy change to score one of them.
Yeah, do you know what? I was going to go for 2-1 actually, because I feel like Palace are in need of a bit of a result. But if they don't have Wilfried Zaha, I'm going to change that to 1-0 Burnley.
So we talking about you can't whip it and whip it. Which one you going for?
I don't know. I'm panicking in this one. Do you know what? I am going to stick with 1-0 Burnley. I'm going to do that because I don't think he's there. So 1-0 Burnley.
2-1 Palace for me.
Okay, Norwich Stoke.
Norwich have been struggling to score goals recently. I know their manager had to come up and defend their team. They lost to Swansea. But I think they're going to win 1-0.
I'm going to actually go 1-0 Stoke.
Okay. All right.
Do you know what? I don't know.
Yes, you know. You're going to go stick with that because I think my one's correct.
Okay, fine. 1-0 Stoke. Watford, Bristol City.
Did Watford lose their last game?
Wasn't it? Didn't they? Oh, it's QPR, wasn't it? Didn't Troy Deeney score a penalty?
Yeah, and then did they
lose
QPR 1-2-1? Yeah. I'm gonna say, I think Bristol City lost 3-2. I'm gonna say 1-0 Watford.
I'm gonna say 2-1 Bristol City. I'm going for away wins here for some reason. Okay. Derby Borough.
Both need points. Derby need points more. I'm going to say 1-0 Middlesbrough.
I'm going to say 1-1 here. Sheffield Wednesday against Swansea.
We lost to Sheffield Wednesday, so we see them up close. But I think Swansea are in very good form, so I'm going to go 2-1 Swansea.
I'm saying 2-0 Swansea. And then the final one, Cardiff v Coventry.
Okay, Cardiff, Coventry. I'm going to go for a home win. I'm going to say 1-0 Cardiff.
Yeah, I've got 1-0 Cardiff as well. Okay, there you go. We agree on some things. We differ on others. Those are our predictions. Okay, that is it. Bayo, a pleasure as always. Did you enjoy that one?
Yeah, I did. You know what I'm saying? I needed you to pick me up today. I won't lie to you.
Did it help?
Yeah, it did. Listen, whenever I kick it with you, LW, you pick me up, and then Charlie came in and just picked me up a little bit more. So, yeah, we go again. It was good. It was good.
Right, you stay positive, Bayo, because that's the best thing that you do. So we'll all be watching, we'll all be cheering Wickham on and keeping our fingers crossed. And like Charlie said, there's still time. There's still a lot of time.
There is, man. Yeah, believe, man. You keep going to the very end.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, remember, if you want to get involved on Twitter, you can follow us at Super6 and you can use the hashtag as well, Super6Podcast. Thank you so much to our guest Charlie for joining us this week. Make sure you like and subscribe, and then you get the downloads automatically of our podcast every week. Bayo, see you next week.
LW, see you next week.